Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we're going to talk about our heavy club, Stagger Stance, crossbody, clean. We've done this exercise previously with kettlebells, and now we are learning it with clubs. Whenever we pick an exercise, we want to learn it with all the apparatus that we have. We would like to learn it with our heavy club, with our kettlebell, with our mace, and with our hydrocore. The four apparatus that we think are the most useful right now for the least amount of money, for the most amount of benefit. It's always an engineering equation with this stuff. With this movement, we are going to start with our feet pointed straight ahead. Anytime we are doing these movements, we want our feet straight ahead for a very simple reason that that's the way we walk. When we are doing these exercises, we are simulating different types of load from walking patterns. Our kettlebell version of this, we took our feet from shoulder width apart, as wide as our feet would be while we were running, and we took a leg and we moved it back about 1.5 distances of our own foot, not the American measurement of 12 inches, but of your own foot. That's going to put us in this stagger stance, small mountain stance as it's called in Kung Fu. They call it a different name in every type of sport, but this is the stance we want to be in. We're going to stand all the way up at the top. We're going to point our rear foot straight ahead, and we're going to lift our heel up off the ground. Your rear calf should fire when you extend that rear leg. With the kettlebell, we went crossbody and we pointed our thumb back. We pulled it all the way back up. We set it down with good technique. What you are going to notice is this is kind of my favorite version of a single leg Romanian deadlift. With a single leg Romanian deadlift, we have one leg. You may bend your leg, you may keep it straight depending on your sport. You go down, you touch the ground, you stand all the way up. The problem with that movement is that it's just a lift. It's not dynamic in nature. We would always like to turn every static movement that we have into a dynamic movement of some type if we can. When we're doing this load, our rear foot is helping us keep balance and maintain awareness of where we are in space, how far down we are going, but we are dominantly loading that lead leg a ton. How much you bend this lead leg is up to you. You could bend it all the way down super low and explode out of that hip. You could bend more with your back and your spine and pull using your elbow and your lat. Which version you do depends on your body type and what type of previous training you've had. What we're coaching right now is 2 feet pointed straight ahead, cross body, somewhere in the middle of those two things. Bring it all the way up and get your elbow back to position. The club version differs from the kettlebell version in our catch. Kettlebell, short lever, heavy weight. Club, medium lever, medium weight. We're gonna have our upper arm vertical, our lower arm horizontal, parallel to the ground. We are going to get into position, start in order, push straight out. Load the lead leg, bring it all the way back up, and catch. Push out, load the leg, bring it up, and catch. Push it up, and catch. I'm gonna catch soft and then stand all the way up. So we're putting in both phases of the movement. Start from lockout, bend the legs, load, bend the legs more, drive up from the lead leg, catch with soft legs to keep your core in a correct position, stand up, lock both legs out, pull your rear calf up. If your rear calf is firing at the top, when you stand all the way up, you're doing it generally correct. We are trying to have the arm straight at the bottom, but it might bend just a little bit. This movement starts to get more specific into an athletic stance. Before we had our feet neutral and we changed one thing, we changed the upper body. We've had inside, we've had outside, now we've had cross body, which changes the way our hips are going to move and rotate. That's what we want, because when you're doing certain types of athletic movement, those are the positions that we are finishing that in. The simplest example of this would be like a tennis serve, where we are in our one leg forward, one leg back, and we come all the way down, we load that leg, and then we spring back out of it in order to move or change directions. This allows us to take that movement and specifically isolate it and train it and demonstrate control with inexpensive equipment that's just going to make you better at everything.